Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Masonry Strong Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Buddie Barnes. Buddy, how are you doing?
Just fine. How are you
Awesome.
today?
I'm doing great. So, tell me about how you first got started in the masonry industry.
Well, it's a long story because it's a long time ago. Uh, I was actually had just gotten married, going to college, and I was a regional management trainee for Sears, and I was the department head for all of the installed home improvements. So I had, if you wanted to remodel your home,
Yeah.
I was over all of that. I was the youngest one in the Southwest Territory for Sears. And we found out Debbie was pregnant, and the insurance wasn't that great at that time. And so I went to Deb's dad and said, "Hey, is there a way I could work on my day off from Sears doing something for D. Brown?"
How old were you at this, if you remember?
Let's see.
So, you were around college time? Just
20, I was 21 at the time.
Awesome. And you asked him for a position
So,
on.
yeah, I was just looking for anything
Yeah, of course.
because my plan was to be a regional manager with Sears at that time, and started working with the company. And they when I tell people I started at the ground up, my first job, they gave me a sickle, and I chopped sunflowers in the stockyard where I had all the materials stored. And then I got a promotion, and I worked in the shop, helped the mechanics working on equipment. And they were having a little bit of growth in the company at that time, and the guy overestimating came out and said, "Say, I understand you're studying architecture in school." And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Do you think you could read blueprints?" And I said, "If I can draw them, I should be able to read them." And so, yeah, I think I can do that. So he says, "Well, since you're just working part-time," he said, I'll give you some plans and let you do takeoff for the company."
Wow.
And so I was doing takeoff, and about 3 months after I started that, he came to me and he said, "Look, you've learned too fast, and you've either got to go to work full-time, or I've got to get somebody else in here full-time." And so I was slated to become the number 3 staff position at a brand new Sears store at a mall that was right next to where I lived, Debbie and I lived. And I was making more on my day off at D. Brown, chopping weeds and working on equipment, and actually worked on the repair trucks, learning how to lay brick and block. And I talked to Herb, who was the guy that was hiring me, and said, "I've got a career path here. What do I have at D. Brown?" Well, Dee's my father-in-law, and he stayed arm's length away my whole career until I became executive VP of the company. But it was a monumental change I had to make at that point, and glad I did. I mean, having a degree in architecture with a double major in architecture and finance, and being a contractor, everything that I did with school worked great. And then I did all design development for the company.
Yeah.
And so I worked with architects all over the country.
Wow. That's awesome. And when your wife was pregnant, was that with David?
That was with Rob,
Ooh,
David's oldest brother.
Okay, gotcha. Are they both in the industry? Because I obviously know
Rob,
David is.
yeah, I'm chairman.
Okay.
And retired. And I got to die to get out of that job. Rob is the president and CEO.
Okay.
He's Robert the Third, goes by Rob.
Okay.
I'm Junior, go by Buddy. And my dad was senior and went by Bob.
Wow.
My grandson is Robert the Fourth.
Wow.
Is an estimator in the company and will graduate college in December.
That's awesome.
So we've got the 4th generation is now coming through the
incredible.
company. Company will be 70 years old October 31st.
Is that something you always kind of envisioned, or did that just happen by chance?
I thought Rob was going to be a veterinarian.
Really?
All his life he talked about he was going to work with animals and stuff.
Yeah.
And his granddad seemed to influence his direction, but he studied building construction in college, and then when he graduated from John Brown, they asked him about going ahead and going to grad school, and he said he was an athlete, played soccer in college, and getting an engineering business degree. He said, "Man, I need a break." So about 10 years later, he went to SMU and got an international business finance degree. So now Rob, he'll analyze things to death with me, but he's much better at the analytical work than I ever was.
Okay.
But it's been good. David has a lot of the traits that I had with the construction and design and hands-on work. Rob's more the analytical and business type.
Yeah.
He understands and knows the field operations well, but prefers the other side of the business.
Yeah.
So it's a great match for them to come into the business and then ultimately be the two leaders of the company.
Yeah, that's awesome. From like an architecture perspective, what has it been like seeing the industry kind of change from when you first started to now?
It's cyclical. When I first started, of course, the company at that point was back in 68, 69, was doing schools, 7-Eleven stores,
Yeah.
shopping center type stuff. And so it was all brick and block. And through the years, development, I moved us into stonework and architectural precast. And so we've gone from brick and block totally to brick, block, and stone to panelized work. And then from panelized work, we've gone from architectural precast to stone-clad precast, stone-clad trusses, to metal panel on truss.
Wow.
So all of our people are kind of cross-trained because they don't know what kind of, they're going to be laying rock one day and setting precast another day and then setting cast stone. And then we have developed the restoration for the company. And so we've done some tremendous restoration projects over the years.
What are some of your favorite projects you've worked on? I know, I'm sure there's a lot.
Well, yeah, 54 years. I've had a lot of projects. And you had sent me that as a note, and I tried to think back, and there's different reasons for liking different projects. The one I probably had the most fun with was a project we did in Boston. We did 2 International Tower in Boston.
Nice.
I could fly from Dallas, land in Boston, take the launch from the airport over to the hotel. The guy at the front desk would give me my hard hat and vest, and I'd walk across the street to the job site.
Yeah.
I always thought that was cool. I didn't ever have to have a car. I took a boat from the airplane. So that was a fun job, and it's probably one of the more ornate interior projects that we've done. Norwest Tower in Minneapolis that Bill Dittinger.
Okay. Wow.
Dick and his brother Bill were young in the business, and I was running front for the company doing the design development, and we did Norwest Tower, Bank One, and Lincoln Center in Minneapolis.
Wow.
They were our joint venture partner on those projects. They were doing just brick and block at that time, and so we taught them the stone business.
Yeah.
And they furnished the manpower, I furnished the management, and did the financing on the project. And then We went out to California. Probably the largest single project the company's ever done was the Getty Museum.
Oh, wow.
And when I bid the project, it was $44.6 million for the stonework on that job.
That's just the stonework?
The stone material purchase order was $18 million to begin with. When we completed that job, our contract was $66.2 million just for the stonework. So that was a different type of job in a different market. By then, we had set up a company that was DBM Hatch, and was a union company. Back in 1980, D had set up D Brown Inc. as a holding company. And D Brown Masonry was the union arm for D Brown Inc. Masonry Technology was the non-union arm for D Brown Inc. And then we had the joint ventures with Dentinger, and we had the DBM Hatch, and then we had it for Utah, where we did the work here. We had DBI plus KEPCO.
Wow.
And an interesting job here. We did the Grand America Hotel downtown, and if you get a chance to go there, you won't find many top 5-star hotels in the country that will match that one. Awesome. They have carpet over the marble floors that were several $100s a square foot.
Wow.
And the carpet was like $600 a square foot. But the hotel was just a tremendous job, and it was both hand-set and panelized work. We did the restoration on the Utah State Capitol building, redid the whole Capitol Dome. It's all new stone up there because of the deterioration from the acidity and the salts up here. And then there's 2 office buildings, the House and the Senate building, that are new that we built. And then we did the library for the Mormon Church here. And then when you go back to Dallas, of course, we built Jerry World, better known as American Airlines.
Oh, wow.
We called it Jerry World because Jerry Jones is bigger than life.
That's awesome.
And did all of the stonework on that project. We've done a number of homes. We built American Airlines Center in Dallas, the place where the Mavericks play.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we built a house. And this house was load-bearing masonry with Texas in French. I think it was French. I think it's French and Texas limestones on the exterior. That house was $500,000 less than American Airlines Center.
Wow. How long have you? So you said you've been to how many mid-years? About 40.
Well, I've been going to the meetings, whether they were the convention, and originally it was just a convention.
Yeah.
We didn't have a mid-year.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the first time we did a mid-year, but I've been 48 years going to meetings through my career.
What has it been like seeing the MCA grow to what it is today, to where this year we're having our biggest mid-year ever?
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Yeah.
The things, the trade show that we had, the original convention was a much bigger show with we had our own show until we teamed up with World of Concrete.
Yeah.
We had our own equipment show. And so you had an opportunity to go out and drive the equipment, and they'd have contests where the guys would run a forklift and get graded. They'd have some brick contest, not like we have with the Brick 500 by any means. it was more on the order of what we do with the apprentice
Yeah.
competitions. But scaffolding, they'd have you build scaffold.
Yeah. Wow.
So there were a lot of things. You could actually get certified as a tractor operator while you were there. And then your safety programs were worked out on the equipment and stuff. So those were nice. When we started just doing the shows to where we didn't have the equipment there, to me, it wasn't as much fun. I always liked tinkering with the equipment and playing with the new equipment.
Yeah.
And my dream was to have 100-ton rough terrain crane, and I got up to 50 tons, and that was as big as I got.
It's funny. Just speaking on the cranes helping you with the industry, what is it like seeing all the advancements that have been made in the industry as far as
I tell you what, this morning I was blown away. The AI, I told David after we broke from that meeting, I said, I would love to have, was it Gomez?
Yes, Gomez.
Yeah, I'd love to have Gomez do the time and motion study for the delays on the old Parkland project.
Yeah.
Rob determined what the losses and stuff were. I'd love to have that, Rob give that scenario, because this was stone, it was natural stone, precast, cast stone, granite, marble, limestone.
Wow.
It had everything.
Yeah.
And President Bush's office is on the 6th floor. And I had an interview one day that they did. It was before they had moved into the building. I went out on the 6th floor. He has a patio or a balcony looking down on Dallas Tollway.
Yeah.
And looking west out of Dallas. And on that balcony, he has a little putting green. So we took some pictures up there, played around.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that after Secret Service came in. You had to get special permission to even go in to check a problem.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, we're wrapping up here, but I'll finish off just by asking, what are your plans for the future?
Well, in January, I'll turn the foundation over to John Jacobs.
Nice.
And looking forward to that. I told him when I took that job that I would do it to get the organizational structure back in place and develop the grants process and get a grading system in place. And we've now done 2 cycles with that, and I'm happy to say you guys have done a tremendous job helping us get that to where it was an operational deal. And in one day, we could do all of the interviews for the grant request, have it graded, and determine the dollar values of each of the grants based on the point system that we developed. So now I just want to be able to go. I guess I'm gonna someday have to do something with the bylaws committee. Dick Felice quit coming, and I just inherited the whole committee. But it's been at least 10 years since we've had to do a bylaws change.
Oh, wow.
And I told Jeff that I thought probably because of changes in laws and the advent of the foundation and us taking on publishing the magazine and stuff, that maybe it was time we at least do a cursory review of the bylaws and see if maybe we need to update something. But I think that's probably my big thing. I'll continue to come to meetings and
Awesome.
and be there. I think Mark Kent, Mark Kemp and Gary Joyner and myself are probably the older guys. Mackey, if he gets his health back, is another one.
Yeah.
Although I think he's at least 10 years younger than me. I think I'm senior right now of active people, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
it's been a great ride,
Yeah.
great friendships all over the country,
Yeah.
and I've passed the torch over to Rob and David with D. Brown,
Yeah.
and I go for the board meeting once a year, and occasionally get a phone call and says, "Hey, can you come by? We got this job, and you might be able to give us some insight."
Yeah.
But
Well,
past that, it's up to them to make it work.
awesome. Well, buddy, I appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah.
I had a great time
Yes.
talking with you, and we'll see you guys next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, awesome.